Good morning and welcome to the channel Trade with M today. I hope you've had a great weekend and that you're all healthy and that your families are all healthy too. Okay, we're going to make a start on the chart analysis for the London Open. Today is Monday the 13th of July 2026. It's 8:49 currently here in London or in the UK. It is 3:49 a.m. in New York City and it is 4:49 p.m. in Tokyo. Just to let you know that. Okay, so the Asian session is coming to a close. We're just looking towards seeing what London's got to offer. We typically expect the Asian session to reverse a little bit on the Sunday night, as it is in the UK. So we're looking for the markets to sort of stabilise from now till Tuesday, Wednesday. That's the plan. So we're going to go to we've got our open position ratios, our relative open position ratios. We've got obviously details about our moving average, relative open position ratios, and number of indicators that correlate. This is our Harmony Technology automated email that I get every hour. You can see this one came in 45 minutes ago. So here we go. Let's make a start. So pound New Zealand, top of the block. I put these all in order last night for what was going on at the time. Let's see where we are on the relative OPR. Pound New Zealand. It's here, plus 42, slightly increasing. But we're still, sorry about that, that's my coffee cup. We're still, I think we're heading for a touch on the MA 200 before we think about what we're going to do. So that's no trade for us. Euro CAD, sorry, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to go pound yen, which is, typically it's here, look. So we're neutral on FXSSI, we're bullish on IG markets, but it's given us a good score overall, which is why it's up here. We've got 28%. That's gone down a little bit. Oh, what am I talking about? Sorry. I'm on the wrong chart, aren't I? So we've got 28% on this chart. Was 24 last night. Yeah. What's price action telling us? Well, this candle has got 8 minutes to go. And it's not printed an alligator, a gator setup for us at this moment in time. So potentially our thesis might still be correct, that will come down, hit this trend line and continue on. Potentially, but we don't have enough information and it's no trade on that anyway. Today, well, not at this moment in time anyway. Pound CAD. Let's see our relative OPRs on pound CAD. Bullish, plus 66. Slightly below where it was last night. If I've been in here. Potentially, yeah, maybe we're going to find from now, hey Brady, that's Brady the dog, potentially we might find that we create some kind of trend line down to there, as in double top, down, collect some liquidity, off we go. We could see if that might be the case, but we need more information. Pound Swiss, mildly bullish. Sorry, mildly bearish. What am I talking about? Pound Swiss, let's have a look. Bearish, neutral, plus 83. So it's the same as it was last night in terms of the relative OPR. We're still bullish to collect some liquidity, I think, aren't we? I think we're going possibly up to there before we consider a turnaround in our fortune. Let's just make a note. I mean, maybe it'll dip, but I think ultimately it's on its way to there, at least. Let's have a look if there's any more now. I think that'll be it. Exhaustion possibly at that point. This is a very strong bullish candle there. Would we call that a big shadow? No. But it certainly engulfs a few of those prior candles, doesn't it? So we can see. But anyway, yeah, that's pound Swiss. Euro pound is up next. Actually, I'm just going to demark these for the ones that we... just so that we can tell if they're going into different buckets. Done that one, haven't we? Not done any of those, not done any of those, not done any of those. And I think that's about it. Okay. Euro pound, what have we got up here? Bearish, bearish, minus 96, 3 indicators. Okay. So we can see, I thought it would go up and get some more liquidity, tag some more, collect some more liquidity up there. And it's just done move. It's just done what I thought in one candle, really. Doesn't mean to say it might not collect a little bit more. So we can see. We're still in trade, in a theoretical trade. I didn't take that trade, but it's still in theory in progress. Yeah. I can't really say much more about that. I do think it is going to reverse and then go back in favour. Euro pound, euro yen. Where are you, euro yen? Here we are. Interesting. So we're at the top of the box. We were minus 47 last night. Where are we? Euro yen, neutral, minus 38. So we're losing some bullishness on the relative OPR, but yet the price action, well, we're at the top of the box, so we're going to make a choice, aren't we? This could be head and shoulders, fall to the bottom of the box, collect some liquidity, off we go. It might not. It might break out of here and give us some decisive moves. We will have to see. Okay, euro yen, euro Aussie. I really like, we've got some numbers on the euro Aussie at last. So I would really like a trade on the euro Aussie. And if we're getting the numbers, then that might just align up for us. So, yeah, all right, I thought it would go and collect liquidity down here. It's actually done it here, but that doesn't mean to say it won't fall again, go up there, and then off to the races. We don't know, but it's giving us this really strong trend line at the moment. Can you see how price just kept touching it over and over again on the 4 hour? So we could sell here. We could sell where we are actually right this moment, but the chart, certainly on the 1 hour, looks, and we've got the MA on the 1. Do we have it on the 4? Or do we just? No. Yeah. So we would still be waiting for that moving average to catch up with us. So potentially another move down, another move up, another move down, and the MA will be with us. But interesting. Yeah. Okay, so we do not have, we've got the relative, oh no, we didn't check the relative OPR, minus 11. Okay, minus 11. I didn't put this on last night. Oh, I did. So we've got the relative OPR. This is last week's numbers, by the way, which I'm just keeping my eye on for the moment. We've got the relative OPR, we don't have the MA, and we've got the OPR. So it goes in that box already, doesn't it? Relative OPR and OPR, but no MA. We needed to move up into here before we can take a trade, but yeah, it's it's looking good. Right, Euro Aussie, Euro Swiss. Where are we on the Euro Swiss? Yeah. So again, bearish, neutral, bullish, plus 34. Let's just put that in. Okay, it's getting very bullish, isn't it? And why? Why would we say that? I mean, look, it's definitely coming up there, isn't it? And we've not got this in the right place. So for our sell trade on the Euro Swiss, if we were going to go with the OPRs, which we do, we want them all to line up, we can't, and we don't have the MA, but we believe that price action is, especially with this, a strong candle is definitely going to collect this liquidity here. I believe. Euro CAD, where are you? Neutral, plus 11. One indicator, where are you? Euro CAD. Okay, so we've dipped below the moving average, but we're close to it, so we'll keep it in that bucket. What can we say about this chart? We don't have the moving average on the 4 hour. Okay, we're going to get rid of that because it's proved us wrong, because it's come down and tagged this again. But what we do have now is a beautiful box, hence why we'll do that. Oops, we have 2 touches on the top. Let's move it exactly into location. And we've got 1, 2, 3 touches really on the bottom. I would actually, well, if we can just get above this, maybe get a signal on that. Let's have a look at them 1 hour. Oh, yeah, no, we're not, I might take a less risky, as in with less risk percent at stake, trade on this because it's in a box and it's been nicely doing what we're kind of expecting it to do. However, having said that, I would need it to come in a little bit stronger, because although it is doing that on the 4 hour right now, but we do have 58 minutes left on the clock. Because I did think it would come down here. That's not to say if we get a strong signal, it will go to the top, reverse, and carry on, which it may well do. There's a lot of liquidity down here for it to collect, but it's in our box and it's done the dance so far. Let's just see. What did I say they were? Sorry, Euro CAD. Euro CAD plus 11. Oops, done it again. So it's not really strongly bullish on the relative OPR, but it's given us some good price patterns. So that's a 1. It's a risky trade. You wouldn't risk your normal sort of 1.5% on that, but there's a possibility. It's not an A star, let's be honest. I've got that it's, yeah, moving average cross on the day. That's what that means, by the way. Oh, yeah. So it's touched the daily moving average. Yeah, the Asian session has reversed quite significantly down to the bottom of the box, then it's touched the moving average on the day and potentially ready to, and it's just printed a Gator on the 1 hour with a retrace, but our green moving average is not. We prefer that to be more on our side. It's a risky trade. I'll show you the numbers on it. This is where I would put my stop loss, and that is where I would put my take profit. So you'd be looking at 2.28 risk to reward with a 47 pip stop loss. It's a shame because obviously once you reach the moving average on the 1 hour, your trade's not the same. But anyway, yeah, that's a possible trade on the Euro CAD if you wanted to place half risk or etc. Okay, USD CAD, let's have a look, 62.5%. Potentially we've got a similar, no we haven't, oh, okay. No MA1 as I just mentioned on the other one, and it's bearish, that's just printed a bearish Gator signal. So, what am I going to do with this? We're moving further away from the moving average and we're getting more bearish, so I'm just going to not do that. I'm going to put it, we don't have the moving average. Let's just check. Sorry, what did we say? 62 again, so that was last night, this is this morning. So we have the OPR and the relative OPR, but we don't have the MA in our favour, and we don't have price action, to be quite brutally honest on that at this moment in time, so we would not trade that. Alright, USD, CAD, CAD Swiss. CAD Swiss, CAD Swiss. Still thinking about that with the trade, that's why I can't find it. CAD Swiss, there it is. Bearish. No, we don't have any numbers on the FX SSI, so we're just bearish on IG markets, minus 11. Where are you, CAD Swiss? Not aligning, is it much? Let's see. Minus 11. Ooh. Yeah. Minus 11. Well, that's quite bullish to me, that chart. So we've got the OPR and the relative OPR. The MA doesn't match, so it's in the right bucket. I would not trade that. Nah. I do think it's going to collect that liquidity. In fact, I'll give you an arrow just so that you can see that. I do think it's going to collect that liquidity. But, yeah. So that basically panned out, didn't it? Although I think I did move that arrow. I think it possibly... did I take it down to there? Maybe. But, yeah. No, I think it's on its way up there. Okay, CAD Swiss. You're definitely not a trade today. Aussie New Zealand. I like the Aussie New Zealand. Oh. So we're bullish, but not on the relative OPR. So this is going to change things. So we don't have the relative OPR. So how are we going with that? No relative OPR. Oh. It was 0 last night. It is now -7. This is not necessarily a bad sign because that was the Asian session. Sorry, let's go back to the 4 hour. Hope I didn't just check the others out on the 4 hour and the 1 hour. I think I did. Sorry, CAD Swiss. Yeah, anyway, it's doing the same thing. Aussie New Zealand. What can we say? This trend line, I like it. Look, we've come all the way from our last 4 hour order block. We've touched it there. We've touched it there once. And we've now just touched it again. Now, bear in mind, this candle has another 1 hour to go on it. As in, where's that marker? Here. 49 minutes. It's, if you ask me, that's going to print a long wick and potentially do what we still want it to do, which is go to the top of this, move up there. But we would need some more signals, i.e. we would need the moving average. Let's have a look where it is on the 1 hour. Yeah, no. It's bearish on both, isn't it? And we'd need this to be way stronger. There's no trade on that at this moment in time, unfortunately. Aussie New Zealand, Aussie Swiss. No. Yeah. So it's a moving average cross. Let's just see where we are over here. So bearish, bullish on the relative OPR. Yeah, still bullish. This was one we got stung on last week. Can't remember where I entered, but anyway, I probably should have left that on the chart. But Aussie Swiss, yeah. Let's just have another look. We'll zoom out a little bit. Maybe. I don't think this is going to be the case, but we can just see. We've got a bit of a trend line forming there from that. No. I was going to see if we could, and potentially with the double bottom out of it. Will it go? Yeah, okay. We could potentially look to collect some liquidity up there and then fall. Maybe at least to the bottom of the box. But, I mean, I might, if the numbers were aligned, I might sell it up here. Potentially. But we'd need a lot more to line up on that one. And it's quite expensive to trade it with my broker. That's why I need to leave that there, just to keep reminding myself. Yeah, it's quite expensive to trade if you leave it overnight. So it's got to be a pretty quick in and out for that one, and that's nowhere near that at the moment. All right, Aussie Singapore. Where are you? Aussie Singapore, we're here. Okay. What do we have? I thought it would be down here. Bearish plus 11. So it's getting even more bullish on the relative OPRs. It's in a squeeze, isn't it? 100%. We've got they've got the MA. What do we have, the MA on the 1? An MA cross on the 1. I'm just going to put that on there. Yeah, it's setting itself up, squeezing the price. Right, Right, so what have we got? We haven't got the relative OPR. We've got the OPR, we don't have the, or do we have the MA on the 4? Yeah, we do have the MA on the 4. So it's in the correct box, I believe. Just double check that. Yeah. Will it come up to there? Maybe. Maybe it'll produce a big wick. But we don't have enough information at this moment in time. I think I'm going to change my thesis on that and do that. Or at least just do that. I think that's less confusing. So I actually, yeah, if I was, say possibilities would be to wick into there. That's why it's a straight up arrow and then down. So that would be a good place to sell it, let's say. Will it do it? I don't know. Look, it's not, if you look at the previous price pattern, it's created these squeeze plays. It's just doing the same thing, isn't it? It may not wick into there. I'm gonna put one of those because of price pattern. I don't actually think it will, sorry. Okay, right, that's that. Let's move on. Aussie Singapore, so we went USD Singapore, and I think, so what's happening on this one? USD Singapore is down there and it's plus 50. It doesn't know what it's doing, does it? So we've got we don't have the relative, that's in the wrong box. No relative OPR. We don't have the moving average either. We don't have the moving average or the relative OPR. Oh, I see what, so yeah, I want it in there, don't I? It just doesn't have the moving average. So, what do we think it's going to do? We think it's going to come right down into there, probably wick, probably return on down. Anyway, well, I shouldn't say probably, I should say possibly. USD Swiss. Let's have a look where our numbers are. Plus 47, still bullish on the relative OPRs. Okay. We got this sort of situation? No, I think we've got this sort of situation. So in a way, that's a pretty good place to sell that, except that you've not got the relative OPR, so you wouldn't do it. You just wouldn't do it, you'd leave that. Yeah, it's contrary, that one. Very contrary. The yen. What we got going on in the yen? Okay, let's have a look at our numbers. I missed it. There, plus 65. It's getting more bullish. What's price action telling us? Price action is bounced off this trend line all those times. So I wouldn't buy that until it was here, but then we're still looking at a wiki situation. That's why that's there, with price being manipulated. So I wouldn't. Maybe I'd buy it from here, but yeah, you'd have to. You'd potentially, if it does come back down here, you've got an MA cross on the 4 hour. What's it doing on the 1 hour? Oh, and it's crossing on the 1 hour at the moment. been as bullish as 90 last week, which would be in line with, well, I don't know, I can't say, but yeah, again, I wouldn't trade that. I mean, if you want a buy trade, you're going to want it to confirm above here, and I don't think it's going to do that anytime soon. Alright, Swiss yen. Swiss yen. There. Sorry, let me just double check. So we've got the moving average, we've got the relative OPR, and we've got the OPR, so that's correct. Let's have a look at Swiss yen. Why did we move it down there? Because we don't have the moving average. Let's see, Swiss yen plus 33. Less bullish on the relative OPRs. But you can see, yes, it went bearish. It's not bullish enough. Maybe it isn't going to come down and collect this liquidity, or maybe it still is. We'll leave that there because we're still below the moving average 200, don't forget. So we don't have the M8, so it's still in the right box. Let's move it on. Kiwi. Kiwi. There we are. Neutral. So it's, I mean, IG markets, it's 36. I think 36 is the cutoff. So minus 7.9. Let's just have a quick look at that one. It's not bearish enough on the relative OPRs. Minus 7. The price action is bullish, and we're just crossing the moving average. Let's have a look at the MA on the 1 hour. Yeah. So, yeah, I still think it's going to go at least to there, possibly Wick up to our line, and then come back down, our trend line, and then come back down. But yeah, you can't sell that. Nope. Kiwi, Swiss. Okay, we're pretty much adhering to our line that we drew last week. Interesting. Let's just have a look at the numbers. Now, if I remember rightly, there we go, plus 7. Yes, we were bearish all last week on the relative OPRs, and we were quite bullish on the chart. So yeah, they weren't correlating too well at that moment in time, but they usually do, so it needs to settle. We had a lot of, I traded the Kiwi last week, and it was choppy, it wasn't nice, it wasn't doing what I expected it to do. So, well, this thesis is holding at the moment. We need to see what's what. We could put our little alert up there somewhere, tell us when it gets there. Okay, let's just have a quick look at the metals. Gold and silver are 20% and 15% short. Now, I do always tell you the waiver on this is that most retail traders don't trade the metals, so the OPRs can line up, as in we're not trading against the herd, we're trading with it because they're less retail traders, if that makes sense. Let's have a look at the relative OPRs on gold. Minus 29, same as last night. And then silver is minus 37. Take a sip of tea while it loads. Minus 37. Okay, so we had a notional price action trade on this. From this big candle here. It's still holding. It's just retraced, but well, that's okay. That's okay. It's still holding. Will it Will it fail? Don't know. We didn't have the numbers, so we didn't take the trade. But, yeah, that's that. Okay, right. When I say we didn't have the numbers, yeah, they weren't really strong enough, and there was a lot of things not lining up at the same time. So let's just check we've got the 4 hour. Yeah, so it's coming up to the moving average, I think, potentially, if we get a. So what about that one? Maybe. So maybe that notional trade will fail off this big bounce. Yeah. That arrow was obvious, given this. That's obviously where we expect it to go. As you can see on the 4 hour, it has just collected the liquidity in this area here, this order block. So maybe it will be more bullish. Sorry, that was minus 37, wasn't it? That could get confusing. Right, okay, we'll have a quick look. Are there any that have moved since? No. Have a quick look at the rest. So Euro Singapore. So yeah, it's nasty that, isn't it? Will it? I think it'll probably just stick in this box. So at some point it will break out. So that, well, anyway, I'll leave it there. It's fine. New Zealand yen. It's doing the dance, but we don't have any numbers. Euro New Zealand did the dance. It's just printed as a. Has it printed as? No, we don't have the numbers to buy that. We don't have the MA. These are. I'll just mark that on actually. You're in New Zealand. Where are you? Minus 18. So definitely not. I do, on the Euro New Zealand, I do like when it does this, because it's been bullish for some time. It's an MA for cross action. Yeah, no, it's not. Now, we could argue that it's going to do something like that, or even that, as we first predicted, but we need more information. At the moment, we're here, so can't trade that. Pound Singapore. Quick look at the numbers. Plus 28. Where are the numbers? Oh, looked like I didn't. Yeah, it's not something I would trade massively. Actually, I'm just going to, for completion's sake, I'm just going to put the numbers on here as well. So what have we got in the Euro Singapore? Euro Singapore. Minus 95. I think that could be confusing, so I'm just going to put a minus in there because I would imagine. So it's very, very bearish on the relative open position ratios. Maybe, yeah, I think that's probably why I put a notional trade on it. But Kiwi yen. I missed it. Oh, maybe we don't get the OPR, relative OPR on the Kiwi yen. Yeah, we do. Plus 11. So it's the relative OPRs have changed the tune, haven't they, from last week? Look, very bearish. I did think it would, anyway, never mind. Right, we've already done that one. Pound, Singapore, we've done that one. These are the ones with, this is the New Zealand CAD, we don't get the relative OPRs as yet. Harmony Technologies are going to be adding that in, so we can't put those in. Aussie Yen, see where we are, neutral, minus 20. Did we have put them in for? Yes, so that's last week. Let's just have a look. Neutral 39 and 42. Aussie Yen. 60% short, 40% long. So we would be looking at a long, but right now, look at this. I love that. But it would need to break out of this box and show some clear signals, and we don't have that. We don't have anything really on that pair. Aussie. Aussie. Minus 48. Again, nothing's lining up for an Aussie trade. So we don't have any OPRs. CAD Yen. Oh, it's back in its box after doing a double bottom-ish. So what have we got on the CAD Yen? Minus 40. Doesn't line up with the price action at the moment. And we've got an MA4 cross. But we don't have any numbers, so we can't do anything with that. Okay, let's have a look at the pound. Interesting. Pound. Minus 5. What can we say about that? Well, it chose to be in a new little box, really, didn't it? Would you say? That's going to look better on the 1 hour, by the way. Let's just move to the 1 hour. Yeah, that looks a lot better on the 1 hour. Sad face, so it didn't come down and touch that, but we are at a critical level here on the 4 hour. So it needs to choose. What can we say? So neutral, let's just have a look. So 50-50, it's exactly, people are not deciding, are they? Neutral, and minus 5, pretty much neutral on everything. Interesting. It's probably going to need a bit of news, as in fundamentals. Okay, 4 hour on the Aussie CAD. Neutral, minus 27. Minus 27. No likey, no lighty. Wouldn't do anything with that. No. I mean, it's bearish with the MA, bearish with the relative OPR. But maybe it'll come down like this. Anyway, no. All right, 4 hour pound Aussie. Pound Aussie neutral plus 51. We're going towards long, which makes sense. So what do I think for this? Okay, interesting. It's going to be one of those squeeze plays where it potentially does a wick down and then continues in the right direction. At the moment, we're nowhere near a trade. Pound Aussie. Pound Aussie. I'm sorry. Neutral plus 51. So if you look at the end of last week, it was 20. It's been way less bullish. So it's the OPRs are changing the landscape of this pair, but not enough yet. And I need to see a close above, or a few closes above there or a close on the daily above that point of interest. Euro. Euro, neutral, minus 62. What can we say? If I was a betting person, I would say that look at that actually, there and there. I think it will potentially do that. Sorry, maybe a wick up there. No, yeah, maybe a wick up there. Collect some of that and then back down. But we don't have anywhere near the data to tell us that that's the case at this moment in time. Right, now we'll go to XRP. Yeah. Friday wants a walk. XRP. Now, I'd really like it to be off to the races. I have a long-term trade on that, a long-term position. Onyx coin, same. Bought that very cheaply, but it's not doing anything that I would like it to do. Bitcoin's above the MA2 for 200 on 4 hour. So will it come and collect some liquidity and then be off to the races? We don't know. What's the fear and greed index telling us? We can look at that next time, perhaps. Ethereum. If it could break above here, it's above the MA200. We've got anything else interesting? S&P 500. Oh, it's definitively out of the box. Okay. I think we've got this going on. We did have a trend line to there. But I would change that now and do that, actually. But how far it will go? Obviously, this is an extreme of the chart, so we need some more information. Nasdaq, below the moving average 200, so is it going to... Pity it didn't tag the top of the box again, but it didn't. Yeah. Dixie. Oh, sorry. I didn't realise that was a box. Okay, so we've got a trend line appearing on the 4 hour there, I think, but no real major information apart from that. Right, I think that's everything for now. That's the end of the London update. If you've got any comments, questions, please drop them below. Been good to see you, and I wish you happy trading, as my mentor would say. Thanks, have a good day. Take care, bye.